English. In today's class, I will be teaching a lesson in supplementary reader, that is Unit 1, and the name of the lesson is The Story of Dharmavyadha. Story is taken from the Mahabharata, and this story was narrated to Yudhishthira by the sage Markandeya. Glossaries. Proficient means learned. Surpass, beat. Stunned means shocked. Depressed means very sad. Grief means sorrow. Cultivate means learn. Bestowed means given. Virtue means good quality. Hereditary means inherited by birth. Anuvamshika. Glared, looked at with anger. Confounded, get confused or get mixed up. Enlightened souls means learned people. Forsaking means living. Next, perched means sat. Dwelt means thought. Wrath means anger. Ascetic means divine. Alms means food or gifts given to the poor. In Kannada, the meaning is bhikshe. Startled means surprised. Mysteries means secrets. Chaste means pure, religious. Conceit means false pride. Sir means teacher or a word of respect. Inherent duty means primary duty, important duty. Shield means defense. Elated means overjoyed. Now let's move on to the story of Dharmavyadha. And here this story is taken from the Mahabharata. First para. Once upon a time there lived a person called Kaushika. He was proficient in the Vedic lore. He wished to surpass everyone in learning. So, forsaking home and parents, he went to a forest and pursued his studies. Long ago, there lived a person named Kaushika. Okay, there lived a person and his name was Kaushika. He was proficient. Proficient means he was expert in Vedas. And he also wished to be greater than everyone in learning. He had forsaken. Forsaken means he had gave up or he left home and parents and he went to a forest and pursued means he followed or continued his studies in the forest. One day he was sitting under a tree studying the Vedas. He was disturbed by the loud twittering of a crane perched on a branch. Means once when he was sitting under a tree by studying the Vedas, he was disturbed by the loud twittering, means loud whispering or chirping of a crane which was sitting on a tree above him. It was disturbing him while he was studying. He glared at the bird. He glared at the bird which had disturbed him, and at once the bird was reduced to ashes. Kaushika was sorry that his wrath had caused the death of a bird. So here Kaushika he looked up and he glared, means he looked at the bird with anger and the bird was reduced into ashes. Kaushika here he felt sorry for having caused the bird's death, but he was also pleased by his ascetic powers. Ascetic powers is nothing but divine powers. Kaushika, he was feeling very sorry that his wrath had caused the death of a bird. But later on, the realization of his ascetic power also pleased him, and he also felt very proud about that. Third para. He went to a town nearby. His mind still dwelt on the incident of the bird. He stood before a house and begged for alms, crying aloud, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, give me alms, mother. The mistress of the house was attending to her husband who had just come home. Here, he means Kaushika. He went to a nearby town, but his mind still dwelled, means his mind was still thinking on the incident of the bird's death. Kaushika stood before a house and begged for alms. Alms is nothing but food. He cried aloud, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, means give me alms, mother. The lady of that house, she delayed to bring alms as she was attending to her husband who had just come home. So she took some time to bring the alms. Displeased, Kaushika glared at her. The chaste lady said smilingly, Kaushika, I am not a crane for your glare to burn me up. Her words startled Kaushika. How did this lady know that I killed the crane? He wondered. Means here. So here that lady, she took some time to bring the alms because she was attending her husband. So Kaushika got anger and he also glared at her. Glared at her means he stared in anger at her. The chaste, here chaste means pure and religious. Okay, the chaste lady smiled and said that she was not a crane which he could burn with his glare. Her words startled means surprised Kaushika, and he also wondered how the lady knew of the incident which he was killed the crane, that he has been killed that crane. The continuation, the woman understood that he was confounded. She said, you may have mastered the Vedic lore, but you know not the mysteries of Dharma. There is one Dharmavyadha in the city of Mithila. You can learn the mysteries of Dharma from him. Curious, Kaushika turned his steps towards Mithila. Here it means the woman understood that he was confused. Means here Kaushika was confused. And she also explained Kaushika that he might have mastered the Vedas, but he was ignorant of the mysteries. Mysteries means he was not known the secrets, mysteries of Dharma. And she also asked him to go to Mithila to learn about the mysteries of Dharma from a man called Dharmavyadha. Kaushika felt very curious and he went to Mithila to meet that person. Next para. In Mithila, he made his way to Dharmavyada's shop. It was a meat shop. The Vyada welcomed Kaushika warmly and said, come in, come in. The chaste woman sent you, didn't she? The words of Dharmavyada stunned Kaushika. Here it means in Mithila, Kaushika met Dharmavyada in his meat shop. The Vyada welcomed Kaushika warmly, means comfortably, and he also said to come in, come in. He said to Kaushika that the chaste woman must have sent you. And the words of Dharmavyada stunned, means shocked Kaushika. Hitherto, Kaushika was full of conceit. Kaushika was full of conceit, imagining that he was the only learned man. But now he realized that it was not so. That morning, the lady had referred to his killing of bird. Here, etherto means so far, means until now Kaushika was full of conceit, means he was at the false pride that he had always imagined that he was the only learned man. But he now realized that it was not so, means it was false. That morning the lady had mentioned about his killing the bird. And now this butcher selling meat was telling him that the lady had sent him. So he felt all these were great persons. With folded hands, he requested Dharmavyada, Sir, reveal to me the mysteries of Dharma. And now here this meat seller means butcher, he was telling him means for Kaushika that the lady had sent him. So Kaushika felt that all these were the great persons. All of these persons were the great persons. And later, Kaushika humbly requested Dharmavyada to tell him about the mysteries, means about the secrets of Dharma. Next, Dharmavyada replied, Sir, you are well versed in Vedic lore. How can I enlighten you? I can only tell you about the path I follow. Here Dharmavyada replied that, Sir, you are well experienced. You are well versed in Vedas. Here, you means here Kaushika. Okay, Kaushika was well experienced in Vedas. And he also asked, how can I enlighten? Means how can I advise you? Here Dharmavyada is asking that here Kaushika was well versed. He was well experienced in Vedas. So he was also asking that how I can enlighten you. And Dharmavyada humbly told Kaushika that he could only tell him about the path he followed. Okay, next. To engage oneself in one's inherent duty, to be truthful, to be patient and merciful, not to be elated in happiness or depressed in difficulties, to be engaged in prayer and tapas, to appreciate the good qualities in others, not to boast, to have. Okay, he was of the opinion that means here he in the sense Dharmavyada. Dharmavyada was of the opinion that one should engage oneself in his duties, in his own duties, and be truthful, to be patient and merciful. One should not be elated. Elated means overjoyed in happiness or depression in difficulties. One should always be engaged in prayers and tapas and should appreciate the good qualities in others. And he also told one should not to boast is in the sense show off, should have baths in sacred rivers and to visit holy places and to serve our parents. One should take care of parents and the Guru who has given knowledge to us. This is Dharma. According to Dharmavyada, this is Dharma. All these are the mysteries, means secrets of Dharma. All these things were explained to Kaushika by Dharmavyada. Next para. I follow the hereditary profession of selling meat, but I kill no animals. I do not cheat in business. So far as I know, I have never uttered a lie. I have no enemies. More than all these, I serve my aged parents with devotion. Their blessings are my shield. Here it means he also told Kaushika that though he followed the hereditary profession of selling meat, he did not kill any animals and had never uttered a lie. He never told a lie. And um, they are, and therefore he also told that he had no enemies. He said that his foremost, means most prominent duty was to serve his parents with devotion because their blessings were like a shield, means it was like a protection to Dharmavyadha. Next, seventh para. He then took Kaushika and home and showed him his parents and prostrated before them. Kaushika also bowed to the aged couple. He then bowed to Dharmavyadha and said, Sir, my arrogance evaporated today. Here, later, Dharmavyadha, he took Kaushika to his house to meet his parents, to meet his aged parents, and prostrated before them. Kaushika also bowed before them and sought their blessings. Kaushika also bowed before Dharmavyada's parents and he also sought their blessings. Then Kaushika humbly bowed before Dharmavyada and told, Sir, my arrogance, means my pride, had evaporated completely today. Let us continue the seventh para. I was conceited, imagining that I am the only learned person. I have forsaken my aged parents and caused them grief. My eyes are open now. I now realize that my dharma is to serve my parents. Here is telling that I was in a false pride. Okay, here I means Kaushika. He was in a false pride by imagining that I am the only learned person. He was thinking that he was the only learned person. And now here he have left his aged parents and caused them grief, sorrow, and is telling that his eyes are open now, and now he realizes that my his dharma is to serve and take care of his parents. Let us continue the seventh para. I shall join them and make them happy. I will try to cultivate the virtues you told me about. He returned home. Thereafter, he spent his days in the service of his parents and in teaching others the Vedic lore he had mastered. Here, Kaushika tells Dharmavyada that from then on, he shall join his parents and serve them and also cultivate the virtue. Virtue means he also cultivates the good qualities that Dharmavyada followed. Kaushika returned home and spent his days serving his parents and he was also teaching the Vedas to others, which he has been mastered in Vedas. He was also teaching Vedas to others. Next, last para. After narrating the story, sage Markandeya said, Yudhishthira, in every division of people, there are enlightened souls who can guide even scholars and masters of Vedic teachings. Means after narrating the story, sage Markandeya, he told Yudhishthira that in every division of people, there are enlightened souls. Enlightened Souls means learned people who could guide even scholars and masters of Vedic teachings. Dear children, here we have completed the chapter, and I hope you people have understood all the aspects of this lesson. Now, let's move on to your homework part. Dear children, you should understand this story, means you should go through the video properly, you should understand the video, you should understand the lesson, and then you should do your homework. Okay, answer each of the following in a sentence or two. The first question is, why was Kaushika very angry with the bird? Next, why did the housewife delay in giving alms to Kaushika? Here, alms means, you all know what is alms. Alms means food or gifts given to the poor. Means in Kannada, alms means bhikshe. Next question, who did she advise Kaushika to meet? Next, why did Kaushika feel stunned at the words of Dharmavyadha? And the fifth question is, what did Kaushika do after his visit to Dharmavyadha? And the last question is, what did sage Markandeya tell Yudhishthira in the end? Dear students, go through the video, understand the video, and then do your homework. Thank you, dear children.